Welcome everyone here to Apex Racing TV. Tonight we're featuring the Spec Racer Ford Weekend Warrior Series presented by 42 Stitches. I'm Avery McDonald. Joined alongside me is Alex Simpson, and we're at the famed track of Imola. Last week we were at Mid-Ohio, which was a nice and technical racetrack, but here we go to Imola for a little more speed of a track. Alex, it's great to have you here in the booth today. How are you?
Yeah, hello everyone. Good to be here. And yeah, what a awesome circuit we are at today. I mean, just an absolute stark contrast from Mid-Ohio last week. I mean, overtaking was not an issue at Mid-Ohio, I have to say. These little spec Ford racers, they seem to get a reasonable draft. So I'm expecting to see a plethora of overtaking in all sorts of places here at Imola. So yeah, very, very interesting circuit. Great for racing. There's going to be some tricky curbs and things like that that the drivers are going to have to contend with tonight. But for the most part, I think we're going to see a really, really exciting race. Pit stop strategy is going to be absolute paramount, and to see if they can break the draft, because I don't think anyone's going to scamper away at all today. If you've got within half a second of the leader's pace, I think you're going to be able to stick with them just with the nature of this circuit and how well you can draft here.
Oh, definitely. How well you can draft here, and with the 40% field, these drivers are gonna need to make one pit stop. But let's take a look at our standings, the Spec One standings. We have David Gaspers, who is in the lead just by a slight margin of 13 points over Rafael Berbigal, who took home the win last week at Mid Ohio. Austin Winter third, who had a very strong run, but caused some accidents. Then we had Gorka, Daniel Sadro, Florence Arabian, Jeff Fritcher, Steven Elson, Jason Perry, two, and Alan Schneider. What a great battle we had here for the standings last week in the Spec 1 class. And then what's really cool is there's a Spec 2 class, which is for drivers that are under 3,000 I rating, and you're going to see those with a number of over 200 on the timing tower. Drivers in Spec 1 is under 200. In the lead of the Spec 2 class is Antonio Reyes, coming off a very solid run last week, followed by Bob Kern, Simone Mayer, Paolo Breme, Jeff Jacobson, Paul Jackson, Miro, Jeff Cantor, Maxine Thomason, and Darren. What this Spec 2 standings, Alex, excuse me, is a great thing, because sometimes you're really not as quick as some of the other drivers, but you have other people you can compete for a championship with.
Yeah, exactly. They're all to play for at the moment. I think I might have had just a graphical little error on what was shown on screen there for a second, so apologies for that. But
Oh,
yeah, like I say, all to play for at the
oh,
moment. Really, really tight. Everything should be great. I think in terms of this championship going to the absolute wire, and that's kind of what we want to see in the comms box because
oh,
it gives us something to follow. Sorry.
no graphical error. I was reading the wrong graphic.
There we go. Okay,
No
so we were
graphical
right.
error.
Yeah.
We we were right on screen, but the guy that does the talking was wrong. So I want to apologize for all our viewers that seen that. Uh, but that's it's so cool that for myself, I would not be a Spec One driver. I'd be in the back of the Spec Two class, just barely hanging on to the field. So that's really cool that they have that opportunity. So yeah, apologies to that, but mistakes happen. But we go to a beautiful grid here. We have a little smaller field than we normally have, but that's Felix Samoa's starting on the pole. Rodrigo Duran second. Austin Winter third. David Gaspers fourth. We got Gorka Itoret, Andres Bottoni, Sergio Durrell, Yangtze Lin, Daniel Sadro, Florence Arabian rounding out the 10. We got Peter Rockers, Jeff Fritcher in 12th, and we go down to 13th is Michael Dobek, David Bohm, Emil Orza, Antonio Reyes, your Spec 2 standings leader. You got Ian Haycock, Steven Elson, then Miro, Dominic Barreau, Kenneth Batley, Bob Kern, your second place in the Spec 2 standings. And then we have John Johnson and Yuri Cox. Paulo Bramley, Adam Bradshaw, Johan Batinga, Ian Gibson, Paul Jackson, Jeff Jacobson, Tom Gradwell, Hugh Simpkins, Joshua Flores, Matthew Filipowicz, Mats, and then Samuel Dick is 36th. And rounding out the field is Tim Van Dorlmelen and Brett Nordstrom. A little bit smaller field than we've seen before. We've seen upwards to, I believe, 56 cars or 52. I'm not 100% sure, but we might have a small field, but the racing is going to be fire.
Yeah, I mean, last week, what, we were in the 50s, weren't we, for the count? So absolutely huge grid. But yeah, it's going to give the guys a bit of perhaps a bit more room out there. But qualifying time's still pretty close, actually. So yeah, we could see some massive trains out there, I think, once this one gets going.
Yeah, these cars, they always bring a good train. One really nice thing, it's a rolling start, which is awesome, which, in my opinion, for these cars just makes it better because they kind of take a while to get going. You see Felix Samo is going to lead the field.
Just before we go as well, I don't know if you have any sponsor messages that you want to give a quick shout out to?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I was just getting ready to get to that, but you know, race is brought to you by 42 Stitches. We'll get that in a little bit. Felix Samo is going to lead them. We're going to get that going to about 5 laps in for our 5-lap break for the 42 Stitches. The green flag is out for Felix Samo. You see Duran in that Volcano car. Just a nice clean start so far. I really love the way we can see these cars come in, a lot of Volcano cars.
Yeah, always tricky into this first chicane on the first lap. Everyone needs to give a little bit of room, but so far, so good. I didn't see the back of the pack come through there, but it looked like everyone was giving each other a little bit of room, which is always good to see.
Yeah, we got a lot of room here. The train has started. Felix Samo's out in front. Then Duran out in front, excuse me. Then Samo's, Winner, Gaspers, Bertoni rounding out the top 5. Duran was able to get a jump on Samo's on this start, excuse me. But the one thing with this train, you have straightaways like this where you're going to stay in the toe and have a good passing opportunity. You see the 17 there, Bertoni kind of looked to the right side of Gaspers. Samo's just kind of buying his time in that 31 with Winner right behind him. Winner had a strong race last week at Mid-Ohio, but then was caught up in an accident and fell to the back of the field. Remember, these drivers do need to take a pit stop. They have 40% fuel. They're usually good for about 28 minutes is about what you're going to be able to get on fuel. So you might see some drivers short pit. Just all depends on what the traffic is like.
Yeah, I think I remember from last week as well, there was a couple of guys just were a little bit long during the pit stop phase as well, and that made a big difference to where they came out as well. So this is why I say pit stop strategy is going to be absolutely key. Maybe you feel like you're being held up and you can break away, maybe get in a little bit earlier and try and you know, get a jump on the guys, break that draft or something like that. It's going to be critical. But yeah, getting the fuel in absolutely bang on is going to be essential today. No one can afford to really stay stationary for any longer than they need to. As Felix having a little look here to try and regain that lead position. You can look at the train, look at the mini map as well. That is just like you know, an old game of Sneak.
Yeah, yeah, a little cat and mouse action here for the lead. Samo's is still in the lead. Started P1, and there goes Duran, Winner, and Gaspers, the top 4 who have not traded places yet. But you know, I really like this track. I was driving earlier today with this car. I just wanted to get a feel for how these cars handled here, and it was so much fun. I just couldn't imagine being actually in a train of cars. I was driving solo, but Samoa's right now still out in front. Has built a little bit of a gap over Durant, but that gap isn't quite strong enough. We'll take a look at the I rating and safety rating of these drivers. The I rating, this field is no slouch. You want to be in this top 10, you need to be one of the most talented drivers on iRacing, and you'll see it right here today on Apex Racing TV.
Yeah, I mean, you've got some seriously strong guys in this field. That's some crazy I rating there. So, yeah, very impressed. The strength of the field, I think, on the sign-up, I think it was 3,500, but that's across, you know, both, adding up both classes. Oh, someone wide. That's going to be a slowdown. I'm not sure who that was. I think it could have been Gorka. Yeah.
Yeah, Gorka goes off, who had a really strong run last week at Mid-Ohio, back on track about 9th or 10th. We'll see if he'll be able to regain some confidence and get back going to the front. But we're going to skip the lap 5 break. We're going to bring in the lap 2 break. This is brought to you by 42 Stitches for full service custom apparel and decoration. Check out 42 Stitches. They specialize in embroidery and heat transfer. They can take your idea from sketch to a finished product. Everything from shirts to hats to masks and gaiters. Check them out at 42stitches.com or shoot them an email at info@42stitches.com to get your project started. 42 Stitches has you covered. That's Antonio Reyes going off the track. Real strong run for Antonio Reyes last week. He is your points leader in the S2 series, so we'll see if he'll be able to get back on track and get a couple more spots. But yeah, check out 42 Stitches. I checked their site the other day. Some great products.
Yeah, thanks for that, Avery. Well, I'll have a little nose actually, as I haven't had a look yet. So, but Ray has actually lost the lead in S2 there as well with that little mistake where he ran out wide, and yeah, he's needs to recover well quickly and see if he can regain that top spot in the in S2. But in competition, Amara right ahead is the man that he'll want to get back past.
Yeah, Miro, the S2 class leader. Keep in mind, drivers over 200 are in the S2 class that their iRating is under 3,000. Drivers that are under 200 are drivers with over 3,000. So you're able to compete against drivers on skill level. Antonio Reyes sideways. Not sideways. It's Antonio Reyes. It looks like Batley and Cox that kind of got involved in that. Wow. 286, 240 kind of coming around. You see the 286 of Yuri Cox, and you hate to see it. Still drivers coming in there. There's Cox, and then the 205 Miro, who was your class leader. Oh, you hate to see it for that Spec 2 class, for that carnage there.
Yeah, I'm just going to see if I can get a replay back and see exactly what happened here, because I think it was contact between first and second in S2 that that's done it. Yeah, Reyes just sending it in, and Miro, yeah, he didn't turn in late. He's just trying to get out of the way as well. He's got serious damage there as well. But yeah, so I don't think he turned in particularly late or anything like that. It's just a case of you know, that's the line through there. But Reyes just had his nose alongside. Something for the officials to have a look at, I'm sure.
Yeah, and you have one fast repair here in this series, but you really don't want to pit till you need to pit for fuel. You see Felix Simoes and Winner going to take a look at the left side here. Going to be a drag race down the straightaway. Is Winner going to be able to clear him? Yes, he will. That Winner takes over the lead. We have a slow car that's just above them. I'm sure they'll be able to get out of the way. But you take a look at what goes Winner, Simoes, Gaspers, Durand, and Bertoni, your top 5. Winner, like I said earlier today, he had just a really great run at Mid-Ohio until about a couple laps to go. He was involved in an accident, but it's good to see Winner out front after that big crash from last week. But Simoes still there. It's kind of a 3-car train, but you know, Durand isn't, and that second train isn't completely out of the game. They're still able to get to the top pack of 3.
If you've got any questions for us tonight on the chat, please do get involved. We'll try and be as interactive as we can. So yeah, if you've got anything for me or Avery, then just yeah, give us a shout, and we will yeah, we'll try and help you out there. But yeah, if while you're there and you're giving us some questions, hit that like button, give us a thumbs up on there as well, share the stream. Let's try and get a few more people in and watching this this broadcast. Yeah,
this series is, I think, starting to become one of the favorites here on Apex Racing TV, because it's cars you don't really think about very often. You're usually thinking about the Formula One, the prototypes, the GT cars, the GT3 cars. You know, every different cars. We have a car going around that looks like it would be Lynn. Yeah, it's Yangtze Lin going around. He missed last week because he didn't have Mid-Ohio. Just it looked to be a self-spin for him. But yeah, this is a great series, Alex, and it's just a pleasure to call this. I mean, racing all the way around, you have some very talented drivers iRating perspective, but you have more talented drivers that are lower in the field that are racing for the Spec 2 series. You see Austin Winner's going to lead the pack down on this main straight. We'll see if he'll be able to hold off Felix. You'll see Steven Ellison going down the line. He is in pit road, so fortunately for him, he had to make a pit stop. But Simoes getting help from Gaspers. Gaspers giving him a nice push. Simoes is going to clear him as Gaspers going to. just barely clears them. I think Winter had to check up a little bit because you going into the chicane too wide is not a good thing.
Yeah, I'll see what kind of draft as we go on board with Gaspers. And he's got about a half a second to Felix ahead. Very, very different lines through there as well. You can see as they closed in massively under braking, and then the exit was so much better for Felix that he was just able to pull away.
Yeah, trying different lines, and you know sometimes it's a little easier to be out in front because you got not only just the clean air, but you can hit your marks and you're not following behind somebody. So Felix right now is in a great spot with just under 10 minutes into this 40-minute race here at Imola for the Spec Racer Weekend Warrior Series. Gasper's always a strong runner, very talented driver.
He's on the grass!
Oh!
The minute you flirt with the grass around Aquamarine Minerale, you are going to struggle somewhat. Huge momentum lost. He did well actually to keep the car in check. I do believe if you run wide there, you actually get a slowdown penalty as well for my racing. So yeah, that's cost Gaspers a little bit. He's still in this fight, and yeah, should be able to draft back up. But that is not what he wanted to do there.
Yeah, that's your points leader in the Spec 1 standings, and falls down to 4th. And there's the top 3 point standings are in place no matter how many people show up, and then depends on how many cars show up. Is difference for points is, but 100 points for first, 90 for second, and 83 for third. That's a big loss for him, and right now that would put Winter very, very close to the points lead. But he's just gonna have to recoup and try to get back up. Fortunately for him, he's still in striking distance.
I was just showing Sergio on screen here because previous lap he was the fastest man on the circuit. Just as I was about to say it, of course, Felix goes and puts a new fastest lap of the race in with 205.29. But it was a 205.6 before that, so a massive improvement in terms of the fastest lap. I do recall from Mid-Ohio, and do they just keep getting quicker as this run goes on? I know, like, you know, with the Skippy and things like that, the car just gets faster and faster, and something like the Formula Renault 2.0, you know, as this race goes on, they just get quicker and quicker, and I don't know if we're going to expect to see lap times keep falling down.
Yeah, I mean, the times are, you know, kind of depends on if you're in a good train or not. And, you know, Felix had a really good run into that, on that lap in the straights, you know, just maintaining really good pace. And we see him just ahead of with Winter. But look at Sergio just sitting there in the toe of Bertoni and down this nice straightaway. Could probably try to make a move, but I think for what Sergio is trying to think is like, hey, if I start making moves, we could start falling back. So he wants to stay in line and try to catch that gap with Gaspers, because the gap is starting to extend a little bit, but now it's starting to shrink back up. That lead pack is, you know, 4 cars deep, and then you just have Bertoni and Sergio. Take a look at David Gaspers, your Spec 1 leader. You know, he had that off, but he's just fine sitting behind Durant in the top 4. Still in a great opportunity, but the one thing with pit stops coming up, the pit stops are starting to open up just a little bit, but I'm expecting them to wait. You have to be very cautious because these cars, unlike Formula 1, IndyCar, they do not have a pit road speed limiter. David Gaspers, you see running the quickest time just in a good tow. But yeah, no speed limiter, and we've seen drivers that did hurt, where they had a speeding penalty and had to sit on pit road for a penalty.
Yeah, many a times have I fallen foul when the car hasn't got that pit limiter, and you just a little bit too hot, and yeah, you get absolutely stunned. It's a good battle a bit further back. This is for sort of 13th, 14th, 15th. Well, actually starts at 12th as well. So yeah, guys are exchanging positions through the first sector there into Villeneuve.
Yeah, great battles throughout this full field. And this battle has been starting to heat up, and it's on fire. Here's David going to try to hold off Emil. The pack is led by the looks like to be Peter Rockers. Yep, that is him. And then Ian Haycox, who really talented driver. Just behind them is the Spec 2 points leader and current Spec 2 race leader. That's Antonio Reyes. Had that off track, but back going. And then it's Bob Kern in second for that series, but in the Spec 2 class. But ooh, what a good run for Emil going through that corner, able to get back up to David's bumper. Looking back at
missed a shift.
Oh, wow, got lucky there.
Just heard it. It literally just absolutely peaked out. I don't quite know what happened, whether that was, yeah, it just didn't clutch right or something like that. But yeah, definitely missed that shift. And like you said, Avery, he was lucky it was where it was, so he didn't really lose the place, as they're battling pretty heavy to Ravazza. Maintain their position, no position changes. Right, however, there is some changes going on at the very front of the pack as well. So Felix takes the lead again.
Yeah, Felix back in the lead, but the lead's been swapping between Felix, Smoes, Winter, Duran, and Gaspers. This top four, they started to pull away. That is the, I believe, yeah, that is Sergio. I'm not quite sure what happened to Bertoni. He falls back to 10th place.
Yeah, has he pitted? No, he's not. So yeah,
no pit stop for Bertoni yet.
Just gonna see if I can see anything on the event viewer as to what might have gone on there. Looks like maybe an off track. Here we go. Let's see if we can bring this up on replay. See exactly what happened for him.
Got a little damage there in the left rear. See Bertoni. Nice.
Oh, just loses it. Tiny bit too hot on the way in. And yeah, one thing I know, when you're carrying that little bit extra momentum, if you get a little loose with these cars, they will go on you pretty quickly.
Yeah, you got once you kind of get sideways, you kind of, you start to lose it. But great job by avoiding him was Sergio. But we're back up to the battle for the lead with Felix Simoes, Austin Winter, and then Rodrigo Duran and David Gaspers. This four-pack battle is really pulled away from Sergio, and that has to maybe do with a little bit of the spin by Bertoni. But now he has no help. But this four-car battle, it's pretty much it's anybody's game here. Real important pit stops are coming up soon. They are in the pit window. You might see them wait till to catch up the lap traffic a little bit more. We'll see what they're going to have to end up doing. You see Austin Winter, the American, in that white and blue card. And the Volcano car behind him of Rodrigo Duran. Winter's trying to make a move.
Bit of traffic coming out of pit lane as well. Should be okay.
That's the 205 or the 43 of Jeff Fritcher, excuse me. I believe.
I just want to say thanks to Chris as well, because on the chat he just let us know that the 60 km/h limit that we have for the pits here is actually pretty handy in this car, because it has a first gear kind of like maxes out at 56 km/h, so should be no real reason for anyone to get a penalty. But I'm sure there'll be people, because this is a long pit lane, that will literally use that extra 4k. There's a lot of time that can be lost by being down 4k on pit lane. So yeah, those that want to play it safe, you've got almost a built-in limiter. Those that yeah, they want every little second or tenth of a second, yeah, they're going to absolutely go for it.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. If you have a great shot for lead, if you just keep it at the 56, you're gonna lose time. And I've said it the last 2 weeks that, yeah, it's important to keep hitting your marks in all these corners and getting good corner outs, but pit road is one of the most important parts of the race, because if you get a great pit in, stop right in your box and get a good pit out, go faster than everybody else, it's a little bit easier to gain time there if you are super fast in pit road. You see Austin Winter still out front with some Moes, Duran, and Gaspers, your top four. Top four is really pulled away from Arabian in 5th, and then Dan Sadro in 6th. Good run for Winter though, up 2 spots.
Apologies, we are having a couple of dropped frames at the moment. Not really sure why that is. We will take a little look into that in a mo. But yeah, just bear with us just while we try and get that sorted.
Austin Winter, Samoa's side by side for the lead. Yeah, we'll take a look at getting that adjusted. We take a look at Austin Winter. Just lost the lead to Samoa's, and then Duran and Gasper's your top four. Samoa's has the lead down the straightaway, and then you see the 205, which is a lap car. Yeah, we're working on it. We're well aware. We appreciate you, everybody joining in and letting us know. We're well aware we are having some technical issues, and Alex is getting that working. But Austin Winter. And then Austin Winter, Felix Samoes, and Duran. Take a look at Winter, Samoes, your top four. I mean, I really like even numbers, and there's only one even number in this top four, but that's all right. Winter had a strong run last week at Mid-Ohio. So it's just unfortunate for him last week. He got back going, and we take a look at that top four is just a very good battle for this top four. It's anybody's game. You see Samoes, Winter, Duran, and Gaspers, your top four. Gaspers right on the bumper of Duran, give him a little bit of a push. As you see, Winter maintaining a good gap from Duran in third, but gap's kind of closed up a little bit. Samoes still your leader halfway through this race at Imola for the Spec Racer Weekend Warrior Series presented by 42 Stitches. Check out 42stitches.com for more info on for them, and we appreciate their support of this amazing series. Austin Winter looking for the pass. You see a slow car, the 377. Winter able to get a very nice pass there. Good opportunity for him. You know, the slow car was there, and then you see Gasper side by side with Duran. Duran gets the just didn't quite get the corner exit that Gasper's had, and Gasper's takes over the third position. You see a couple drivers are coming into pit road. You got Haycox and Rockers down in pit road. Cox is down in pit road. You see Austin Winter back up front, 21 minutes into this, or almost 22 minutes into this 40-minute race here for Spec Racer Weekend Warrior Series. Austin Winter out in front still has the lead. It's been swapping between Samoes and Winter to utilizing that whole corner exit there. Falls back is a little bit Duran. We'll see if he's going to lose the toe there. We might see a pit stop coming soon. Just depends, because the pit window is starting to close a little bit. Still about 6 more minutes till, from our information we've received, that they'll be close to running out of fuel. But Winter's still out front. Samoes, Gaspers, Duran, top four. A really good battle here today in this whole Spec Racer 4 Weekend Warrior Series. And the one thing I like to point out is we'll be back next week with this amazing series. It's a 12-week season. You have 3 drop weeks, so if you're able to not make a race, you can utilize your drop week, or if you make all the races and just have a bad race, you're able to Felix Samoes is going to make his way down pit road, the first driver of the top 4 train to make their way down pit road. That's going to give it the top 3 to Winter, Gaspers, and Duran. We'll see if we're going to get a couple more drivers into pit stops soon. And then we got just a quirky moment, but we appreciate everybody for sticking in. You know, that's the unfortunate thing when you're working with anything technology, because I work with technology in my everyday life. Sometimes things just don't always work the way they are, but appreciate Alex getting that going.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Yeah, I just literally come back onto the on the mic there. I was muted, but yeah, yeah. What can you do? Sometimes the internet gods are not with you, and they will. Yeah, they'll make you pay. But yeah, we seem to be good, and everything seems to be okay now. And yeah, back to you, Avery. Sorry for the rest of the coverage. I'll try and play catch up here while I was frantically trying to sort that.
Oh, it's all good. As you saw, we had a driver go down pit road. That was your pole sitter, Felix, making his way down. We're taking a look at Paulo right now with 555 in that Spec 2 class. Right now, the Spec 2 class is led by Bob Kern, a longtime iRacing member, a very well-respected iRacing member, but he has yet to make it down pit road. Well, Antonio Reyes, who was leading for a long time, has made it down pit road. So if the pit cycles through the way it seems, he'll take over the lead. But we have a really good battle here, though, for some podium positions. You see Paolo and that 555 above him is Bradshaw, the Spec 1 driver, who's up 11 spots. Winner and Duran are going to make their way down pit road. That's going to give the lead to David Gaspers. Long pit road, like we said earlier, you can use first gear for 56, or you go to flirt with disaster with 6. Sad Road, Dorelli, uh, in pit road.
There's a lot in.
Arabian going to take over second. A lot of people making way down pit road.
I don't know about you, Avery, but I think that is risky strategy from Gaspers to stay out here. You know, he's not going to have any draft for this lap at all. Those guys are going to come out. They're going to still have that. He could find himself outside this little slipstream battle. He was quick, I know, when he made the mistake, and he was able to recover and get back onto their tails. So maybe, just maybe, his strategy here is, well, actually, you guys just hold me up a little bit. Maybe I can break away. We'll see. I'm thinking it's a bit risky, though.
It was a bit risky. We're going to see if he'll be able to get maybe a cleaner pit road entrance. You know, that might maybe what he was going for. I'm not 100% sure, because he might be like bottlenecked, I guess would be I don't know if that'd be the right word, but going into pit road might have slowed up a little earlier. So maybe that's what's going to happen for Gaspers, but we'll see. Most likely expecting a pit stop from him this time by. Here's Bob Kern from the New York club, the American, leading the Spec 2 category, but Bob still needs to make a pit stop. It'll be very important for him to get a good clean spot, as he is sitting in the point standings in the Spec 2 series. He's sitting second place, only 6 points behind your points leader, Antonio Reyes, and those two have been battling all 3 weeks here at the Spec Racer Weekend Warrior Series. But we'll see if you'll be able to come down a pit road. You take a look at your track map on the top right of your screen. Got a couple more turns to go, and here we'll see if Gaspers is going to come down pit road here. He's coming down the straight. We'll see if he's going to make his way down pit road, and yes, he is. Just right on the brake down to 60.
Yeah, gets that stop well. Just for those as well, looking at the map now, wants to know what the cars are with the blue outline. That indicates that they are technically a lap behind our leader. So if you're over 50% of the lap behind, you'll come up in blue. Or if you're physically a lap down as well, you'll have that sort of little blue outline. Just so you understand, it's not a class thing or anything like that. Just all about where they are in terms of positions.
Yeah, that's a great point, Alex. That is for lap down, but those drivers still have people they're competing against. You see a good pack there on the top right of the track map. We'll take a look at Emil Orza, your current leader, has to make a pit road, come down pit road. We'll see if he'll be able to get there. But one thing to notice is David Gaspers is out in front of that pack. It looks like he had about the same pit stop as they did. You see Gaspers, Duran, and Winter. The timing for going down pit road was within a second of each other, so he didn't lose too much time staying out. So, but you still have a really good battle for. It is third, but this is your battle for the lead once Orza pits. I believe Yep, and then Lynn also needs to come down pit road. He had a spin earlier today in this race. We're almost at 10 minutes left, 10 minutes to go here at Imola, so it's coming down to the home stretch. So, man, it's just been some really good racing, Alex. And like I said, you're gonna see this. Come see this next week, same time, same place, and this racing is always so much fun to watch. It's always some very talented drivers that give each other room and race clean, but also race hard, which is very hard to do.
I know sort of generally in the iRacing community, the most popular cars, you know, they seem to be like the GT cars at the moment. Those races in the official series, always mega amounts of splits and things like that. But I tell you what, no matter what, you know, some of the best racing that we ever feature here on Apex Racing TV always seems to be your, you know, your sort of your rookie or your Class D cars in iRacing. So be that like your MX-5, the Skippy, you know, these Spec Ford racers, they always seem to lend to some absolute fantastic racing as well. We obviously do a lot of touring car stuff as well. Those races are chaotic, but you have some fantastic battles. I always find with the more powerful the car, typically, you know, the races tend to sort of just spread apart as drivers are just naturally a little bit quicker or slower than everybody else out there. But yeah, these sort of rookie and D cars are just epic for keeping the racing very, very close together as it's all changed at the very front again.
Yeah, Emil and Lynn forfeit the lead and going to give it back to Duran, Gaspers, Winner, Samoes. Samoes just a little bit further back. He's just over a second and a half back from the lead pack, but still in striking distance. But Duran, Gaspers, and Winners are mainly your top three at the moment, but it's anybody's game. Just under 10 minutes to go here for the Spec Racer Weekend Warrior Series, presented by 42 Stitches here on Apex Racing TV. Duran, that Volcano car. Just take a look back from the rear bumper of his car, and you see Gaspers there, just kind of lurking, trying to find an opportunity to pass. But you know, with just under 9 minutes to go, Alex, you want to be aggressive, but if you try to make the overtake now, I mean, next lap, Gaspers, Duran's gonna go right back around you. That's how strong this toe is.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? You've got to pick and decide when you want to go, find out your opponent's weaknesses, of course. So when you come to those last few laps, you're kind of there and ready. But yeah, Gaspers goes through. Not the best of exits from Duran there. Yeah, so like I say, it's a bit of cat and mouse at the moment. The drivers all trying to weigh up where everyone's strong. Bit like chess, I guess, as well. You know, they're trying to get trying to get in the right place for the right time when they're going to make the moves. What I'd be interested here, actually, and I haven't paid too much attention to it yet, is can Duran get a run from sort of 3-4 tenths of a second back to perhaps nick it across the line, or are you going to have to make a move before the actual straight? And it actually looks to me like you get about 3 tenths of a second run, but you're not going to get any more than that. So I think going into this last lap, you know, people are going to have to make moves throughout the lap. They can't leave it to the straight. And around the outside, Winners has a little look, needs a little bit of room on the inside, almost a bit of contact, but they survive. They're 2x2. It's Noah's Ark out there right now.
Yeah, Austin Winner really made a very aggressive move, but you really want to be in second unless you can get a kind of a run like he did to the start-finish line. But really good battle here for the top four. Your S2 leader, Antonio Reyes, has a 4-position gap over Bob Kern, who is second in the Spec 2 series. So really, Antonio is really starting to pull away from there, and still a good opportunity for him to move up the class, up the standings, up to could be 13th, but really good run by Antonio Reyes, that Spec 2 points championship leader. And if everything goes the way it is, he'll pull away his gap a little bit from Bob Kern, who's currently in second in the Spec 2 series. But the battle right now is still for the lead is between David Gaspers, Austin Winner, Rodrigo Duran, and Felix Samoes. But David, look at great run by David. Had a little contact earlier. Take a look at the rear of his car. just a tiny little bit of damage, but that's not slowing him down. He's just trying to get another some more points, excuse me, from David in front of him. But what a great run for that driver of the 700, the S2 points leader, the S2 class leader too, of Antonio Reyes. Still in a great opportunity, Alex. Excuse me, I said that like 5 times, Alex, but for him to get some more points.
Yeah, yeah, you're quite right. Yeah, like you say, I think he seems to have enough pace just to sort of have a bit of a battle with these guys. There's a bit of a gap ahead of them though, so it's 4 seconds once you get out of this little battle up the road. So I don't think they're going to make much more progress than that. So yeah, maybe 2 or 3 places he might be able to grab. There are some good battles going on. The leaders are changing positions again, but we've kind of seen that. We'll leave them to do that. We'll check back in with those guys in a moment. Yeah, there's a few other little battles going on that are slowly starting to build up. Andreas Bertoni is one of them. He's coming under a little pressure for Ferenz behind him at the moment as well. So little 2-car squabble going off, and Sergio, we saw him having a little battle earlier on. He still finds himself in this 5th and 6th battle as well, but 5 seconds back from our leading quartet now. So yeah, pit stops were not so kind for Sergio. He was actually about 2 seconds longer in the pits than most of the top 6 out there. So yeah, that's why he lost that pack and lost the draft. So he's gonna have to try and hold on and fight for 5th of this one, I think.
Yeah, still a great run for Sergio. We saw him have that big wreck avoidance, but wow, we have a pretty good gap between.
Oh, Felix.
Simoes goes off track. Simoes goes off track. As I was saying, that we have a good gap between 2nd and 3rd, excuse me. Austin Winter gonna try to make a pass, makes the pass over Simoes, but Felix just goes off track there. And now it was a 4-way battle for 1st. Now it's just two-car battle for 1st and 2-car battle for 3rd.
Yeah, I think these two actually got into each other as well. Let's take a little look at the replay, which is coming up on the screen now. But oh, there was 3 wide into Villeneuve, and that's what's caused the issue. So Winner got got a little bit sideways, corrected it, and then Felix has made another mistake a little bit later on, which is what dropped him back again. So yeah, just as we were saying that it's this great 4-car battle, suddenly it switches to a straight out fight between the number 10 and number 17 of Duran and Gaspers. So as long as they don't hit each other here, it's they literally do just exactly that. It's either P1 or P2 for these guys right now.
Yeah, Gaspers put on a strong run. A good point stay for him, even if he just settles for 2nd, but I don't think that's going to happen. He's gonna extend his point lead over Rafael, who I don't believe is here today, the winner from last week, and then Austin Winter's 3rd in the point standings. So if Gaspers finishes where he's at now, he's going to be able to pull away a little bit after 3 weeks here in the Spec Racer Weekend Warrior Series. But Duran still maintaining a nice lead for that Volcano car. But you'll see Gaspers look for an overtake attempt as we just over 2 minutes ago. Gaspers, a little bit of shake for Duran. Able to maintain that car, but still side by side. Gaspers does not have the preferred line as Duran did. Duran able to slide in front of him, go through these 2 very beautiful corners. You see Simoes and Winter they're gonna try to maybe work together to get back up to this pack of 2 cars for the lead. Gaspers to the right side of Duran. Let's see if he'll be able to outbrake him. Yes, he will. These cars have been swapping back and forth this whole lap, Alex.
I'm honestly surprised they're battling this hard. I mean, they're literally going to make me eat my words as well, because they're going to lose. I'm going to be interested to see what the lap times are when they come across the line. I think they have lost nearly 3 seconds this lap battling, and I don't think they're finished yet as well. So yeah, I think with this final lap we might even see possibly Simoes or Winner have a little shout at this.
Yeah, Simoes and Winter just going to stay in line, and they're going to really hope they see a repeat of this next lap where those drivers are battling side by side at the line. It was believe it was Gaspers there, just barely at the line. Keep in mind our timing and scoring updates throughout points of track, so it'll just update at the start-finish line. But Duran
Oh,
is out in front. Oh, Gaspers makes a hard attempt, and great job defending by Duran.
yeah, they are going to go at this on the whole lap. Definitely, we're going to have 4 cars very, very close at the end of this lap because here they come. They're about to move into our relative battle box in no time, I'm sure.
Yeah, good battle for first. Duran is in the lead, but Gaspers is going to try to. Gaspers makes a very aggressive move. Because Gaspers, he has the preferred line, and they almost touched. They might have just touched a little bit. Thankfully, there was no net code there. But Gaspers, I didn't really want to say it, but the battle for first has gone from 2 drivers to 4. It's Duran, Gaspers, Winners, and Samos. Your top 4 battling for this win. Duran and Gaspers were mainly battling side-by-side action for the last 2 laps. I believe we will be getting the white flag here. We haven't seen our amazing flagger drop the white flag yet, so we'll see if we get the white flag here. But right now it's Duran, Gaspers, Winners, and Samos. Winner, excuse me, and Samos. Your top 4.
Yeah, definitely white flag. Here it comes. There it pops out. That's the time. So it is checkered. Oh, guys running very deep there. You have to be careful again for slowdowns there. And I think that is exactly what's happened to Gaspers. Gaspers having to slow down. He went too aggressive there. And he's got himself a slowdown. Winner now to the inside. I think Winner's got the run. So, oh, up the inside. They're side by side and they're around. Oh, 3 cars collected in that. Thank you very much, says Felix. He's going to have an easy run to the line with this one.
Yeah, the checkered flag's going to come out for Felix Samos. Was in the right place at the right time when Winner and Gaspers got Winner, Gaspers, and Duran got collected up, and I believe they had a tow, but it's going to be Felix Samos, David Gaspers, and Daniel Sadro, and Sergio Dorelli and Andreas Bertoni with a very strong run into your top 5. And then, man, you hate to see it for those 2 drivers, those 3 drivers, but I like last lap drama, Alex, and that's what we got there. You see some of the drivers coming through the line. Your winner of the Spec 2 series is going to be Antonio Reyes, as he just put on another great performance. Bob Kern second in the Spec 2 class, and then I believe Bradley and Cox have a good little battle for the final spot on the podium. Just keep in mind, drivers, if you do have this YouTube stream or the live stream of this amazing race, check out there's Discord for you to get in for a post-race interview. Please go that into the waiting room. But man, Alex, this series never disappoints.
Oh, fantastic battling all the way to the absolute end there. I am pretty sure what happened there was the top 2 both got slowdowns and were trying desperately to serve that. They just went very, very aggressive through the chicane there, and I know if you run wide, that definitely gives you a slowdown. So try to serve it through as they were trying to defend those positions, and yeah, in the end 3 of them involved, and yeah, Felix was able to generally stay out of the mayhem on the inside, and great win, really.
Yeah, and then a great win for Felix. And then I tell you what, great job by getting to the start finish line as David Gaspers, because I mean he could have fallen down to 10th or 11th if he had to limp his car here. But great job for him. The cars are still going around this track, I believe, almost complete. It looks like they're all pretty much done. But man, what a great race. That's all I could say is a great race. It was battling side by side for multiple laps, but you're going to see this every time next week. Take a look at your race results for your Spec Racer 4 Weekend Warriors presented by 42 Stitches. Yeah, Felix Samo is coming home with the win. David Gaspers, your current points leader for the Spec 1 Series in second. Daniel Sadro third. Sergio Dorelli, Andreas Bertoni, Forens Arabian, Gorka Itaret, Emil, Michael Dobek, Yangzi Lin rounding out your top 10. David Baum, Antonio Reyes, your Spec 2 points leader, extends his lead over Bob Kern, who finished 17th. But Ian Haycock's 13th. Peter Rockers, Dominic Barreau, Jeff Fritcher, Bob Kern, and Samuel Dick. And then we have Kenneth Bailey, your final podium position for the Spec 2 series finishes in 19th. Austin Winter and Rodrigo Duran fall down to 20th and
Costly.
21st. I mean, that's gonna really hurt them in the points championship. But fortunately, you have 3 drop weeks, and I believe that's gonna be a drop week for Winter at the end of the season. But Yuri Cox in 12th or 22nd, excuse me. Jeff Jacobson, Tim Van Dormalen, Ian Gibson, Adam Bradshaw, Paulo Breme, and Miro rounding out the 28th and 29th. It's Brett Nordstrom's Johan Batinga, then Yost Simpkins, Paul Jackson, Tom Gradwell, Matthew Filipowicz, John Johnson, Steven Elson, and Joshua Flores rounding out the 38 cars here for the Spec Racer Ford Weekend Warrior Series. We'll see if we get some drivers. Yep, we do have a couple drivers. We're going to bring in uh, your winner, Felix Samos. Hey, Felix, you there?
Yes, I am here.
Wow, congratulations on a big win.
Thank you.
Uh, the race was a pretty much a cat and mouse battle, but uh, you were just in the right place at the right time. How were you able to pull that win off?
Yeah, it in the past I had been me being on the other side, losing a good position. This time I got lucky.
Yeah,
So
sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I really enjoyed the race. I like this track a lot, and
Yeah, it was such a fun race. Man, it's been really fun to watch you guys race. Is there anybody you'd like to thank?
now I mean as usual. 42 Stitches for sponsoring the series, the organizers, you guys for the broadcast, and all the other guys who make this a great series to race on, to watch.
Yeah, it's such a great series. We'll see you next week, Felix.
Okay, thank you.
Yep,
Bye.
that's Felix Samos, your race winner, and then we have David Gaspers in finished second. Hey, David, you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Oh, congratulations on a great run. Um, it was pretty much a battle between the top four. What happened there on the last lap?
Yeah, the race was a bit of a joke towards the end. A certain team, the drivers of them, yeah, caused a lot of trouble in the last couple of races starting last season. And out of a chicane, I think Rodrigo and I both got a slowdown there. I went to the side, left the others by. He forced too wide, even though he had a slowdown. And yeah, you saw what happened.
Yeah, you're just able to limp your way into second, which is really great, and you're going to maintain the points lead. Uh, before we let you go, is there anybody you'd like to thank?
Yeah, as always, thanks for the broadcast. Otherwise, I don't think there would be that many drivers in this league. And yeah, this race wasn't that much fun, but the other races wouldn't be as much fun with less drivers. So I think that's the most important part.
Yeah, it's a fantastic series. It's been a joy for me, and I'm looking for the rest of the season. We'll see you next week, hopefully.
Yeah.
That's David Gaspers finishing in second place in the points standings, and then we will join up with the final spot on the podium is Dan Sadro. Dan, you have a copy?
I'm here.
You finished on the podium, Dan. How were you able to do that?
I have absolutely no clue because going into Rivazza, I thought I was fighting Sergio for sixth. So obviously there was some incident in front, and then I guess my understanding is that Austin ended up with a penalty or something that dropped him down as well. So just incredibly lucky.
Yeah, I saw you kind of move up the points standings. I was like, what a great run. And, sometimes it kind of like Felix said earlier, I told Felix it's sometimes better be lucky than good. But how was the race overall for you from the start to finish?
For the most part, it was pretty good. It was mostly safe. I was maybe not driving as well as I'd hoped. For a while, friends and I were working together before the pit stop. We were working together to try to keep try to keep a gap, but I was just not able to keep up with him. I was starting to make mistakes. So when I went into the pit, he had a second lead on me, and I thought he'd take a pit the next lap and come out a second ahead, but he had an issue there, and then it was just a fight against Sergio, and I'm been very fortunate to have had a lot of experience racing Sergio. I know he's a really good, really clean driver, and we had a really good race that got really hot on the last lap. But it was just a whole lot of fun, and congratulations to Sergio too on his fourth, and Felix and David for finishing out the podium.
Oh yeah, congratulations on a great run. Before I let you go, anybody like to thank?
Thank Jim for sponsoring it, Stevie Ray for putting it all. Thanks to you guys for broadcasting. Thanks to everybody in the SRF community for keeping it going. It's a great thing for us to do.
Yeah, such a great series. We'll see you next week, Dan.
You should.
Awesome. That's Dan Stadrow finishing the final spot on the podium in the Spec 1 series. Uh, just keep in mind if you do win the Spec 2 series, try to jump in the waiting area and probably get you in on an interview.
I did
We'll
see
see if we can get
Antonio
a.
jump in just for 2 seconds. I moved him in the channel ready to have a word, but yeah, he seemed to have he seemed to run off already before we could holler him.
Yeah. Yeah, make sure you jump in and go into the interview waiting area. Most likely be interview waiting area 2 if you'll see my name and Alex's name. But here's a replay of the incident, I believe.
Yeah, you can see definitely the guys fighting to try and serve those slowdowns. Just caught the inside curb there actually, I think, and that's what sort of pushed him into winners.
Yeah, Durant kind of clipped the curb, and you're racing hard on the final lap, and that's what that can happen. I mean, these drivers were giving everything they had. Here's another look, Winner coming up the right side, and then Durant just drives it in very deep, gets on the curbing and loses control and gets into Winner, and then Gasper's kind of collect up a little bit, and what a great job by Felix. Usually you want to be in like second coming to the start finish line, but or on the last lap, but this race, excuse me, fourth place going to the final couple turns was the best spot to be in. But
Yeah, absolutely. Just was able to mix. I'm gonna see if I can kind of catch it from Felix's point of view to see exactly what he would have seen. He's sort of third car back. He's able to get the right line. It just sneaks through there. Absolutely lovely as well. Thank you very much. Like parting of the sea for him there. Loved it.
yeah, I was gonna say, be part of the Red Sea there, just in the right place at the right time, and coming to that start finish line was Felix to steal a win, and this is a great effort by all 38 drivers here in the Spec Racer Ford Weekend Warriors Series presented by 42 Stitches. Any last words, Alex?
No, just another really great race. Sorry about the tiny little hiccup we had halfway through as well with the internet connection and the drop frames there. But I was glad we were able to get it back sorted and for the rest of the race, and we didn't miss what was great epic, close to the competition there. So yeah, looking forward to the next round and just keeping an eye, see how this series progresses.
Oh yeah, what a great race we had here today at Imola. Come back next week, same time, same place for the Spec Racer Ford Weekend Warriors Series presented by 42 Stitches. For Alex Simpson and all the hardworking, amazing people that are with Apex Racing TV, I'm Avery McDonald. We'll see you next week.